Coping with grief. Hello everybody, it's Tom here from the Company Code, author, educator and public speaker. Today guys, I'm going to discuss the sad but inevitable consequences of coping with grief. Guys, I don't mind telling you that in the last 4.5 years, I have lost over 7 members of my family. To be honest, a lot of them were elderly and the majority of them did have illness. There were a few shocks though, where people just suddenly died one day. And the whole point of this video is kind of, how do you process grief? Well, to be honest, grief is different for everybody. I've been around long enough now to know that it affects people in different ways. Some people initially appear okay, and then like a couple of months down the line, it hits them like a freight train, and they're not okay. Despite the brave front they've been putting on, something will trigger them. Maybe it's the person that's passed away's birthday or something, or a key date or something they remember, just pops in their brain and they just can't help themselves. Some people try and bury their heads in the sand straight away when the event happens, to try and show strength and carry on. And then others will grieve for a very long time, depending on who it is that's passed and the circumstances really. A lot of people always look to blame someone as well when someone dies. At the end of the day, 90% of the time, there's no one to blame. Death is a natural phenomenon that happens to us all. You know, we all sit here thinking, yeah, I'm young, I've got plenty of time. You haven't. Time is tissue. Time is disappearing so fast. The older I get, the more I realise this. And the more I realise that the moments with those you love is absolutely precious. And the underlying message here is to make sure that you do make the most of those moments with the people that you love. Spend time with them, tell them that you love them, share happy times, fun times, be there for them when they need you, let them be there for you when you need them. You know, it is not all about, you know, living where you're going to be or living where you were. It's about living in the now and appreciating the now. And, you know, allowing yourself to process the grief when someone does pass. Allowing you to come to terms with it in your own way and in your own time. There is no timeline with when somebody dies. I don't mind telling you that my aunt passed away in February. She wasn't particularly old, and she never got over the death of her son. And to be honest, as a parent, seeing your own child die before you, I don't think you ever will get over that. But it consumed her in such a way that it made her ill and actually drove her to her own death. Very sad circumstances, but that is the truth. You know, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, and this took a lot for me, was speak at my granddad's funeral. He was my best friend, he was my hero. We were inseparable from pretty much the day I was born. He was always there. He was charismatic, fun, a gentleman, a really wonderful man, and I'm so proud that he's my grandfather and I'd be part of his family, you know. And I speak glowingly about him even now, over 3 years since he passed. But the day of his funeral, it was a spring day, March 2018, I always said that when my granddad passed, I wanted to say a few words. I hadn't written it down, it was all in here. And sure enough, it came out when I went to the front of the church there, in front of everybody. I was literally shaking. I was shaking because 1, he's gone, and 2, I felt I needed to do this man justice. And I did. I didn't stutter once. I don't know how. I don't know where the strength come from, to be honest. But I think I was just so determined that I was going to let that congregation know just what a great man he was and how I really appreciated him in my life. Guys, when someone dies, their body dies. I mean, that is my opinion. Not everybody will agree. There'll be some of you probably in the comment section saying, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the afterlife. That's fine. You don't have to. I do, but I'm not here to impose my views on you. I'm here to say this. If you don't believe in the heaven and the hereafter and all that, that's fine. Believe in what you went through with them. Believe in the memories and believe that they are in your heart always, okay? It's never easy when someone passes on. And I don't just put this to people. I even put animals in this situation, pets, because let's face it, some of us have some wonderful pets. My brother has a beautiful Labrador, a golden Labrador, Cedric, and the day he dies is a sad day because he's like part of the family. Families are just an absolute blessing. Not everyone has had a good family experience, but for myself I have, and I'm close with mine. And I also, I'm very quick to offer my condolences and thoughts to anyone that does lose somebody, because having been through it myself these last 4.5 years, more than I'd ever wanted to, I know all too well how it hits you just one day, and how it is a really difficult thing to process. For those of you watching who may be going through some grief right now, I say this: hang in there, give yourself time, allow yourself to process it in whatever way you need to. Cry, hit a pillow, scream, do whatever you've got to do. Go counselling if it gets too bad for you, whatever you've got to do. And don't worry about judgment at the end of the day. As I said, this is a funny feeling that we all go through and we all handle differently. Alright? Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed my video today and understand the underlying message. Grief is something we all have to deal with. It's different for us all. Understand that people have their own way, and for those who have passed on that we miss, keep them in your heart, remember them, honour them, never forget them, but live for them as well. Remember that. This is my first video of 3 this week. Thank you all ever so much for watching. I really appreciate your time and your energy spent here on my channel. First of 3, as I said, put down in the comment section below, how do you process your grief? Are you somebody that is accepting of death, or do you find it, like a lot of us, a very difficult and uncomfortable thing? Remember to hit that subscribe button down below and leave me a thumbs up and a like. And let's hear that bell sign go ding dong so you know when next content's out. Until then, I want to say thank you all ever so much. I will be back with the second of 3 videos, middle of the week. Until then, I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. I really appreciate your time and energy. Back in a couple of days' time. Until then, take care of yourselves and bye for now.